accused of being traitors. I mean, we're in the twilight zone here. So I don't, Sidney Powell. I mean, even the Trump legal team had to distance himself from her. I mean, that should tell you something how outlandish this whole thing is.
Yeah, but there's no space between Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani. There's no space between Sidney Powell and President Trump. They're saying it now because she spoke out loud what they've all been saying behind the scenes. I mean, she happened to attack Republicans who are running for office, who are involved in elections in Georgia.
That was the cardinal sin.
That was the cardinal sin. That was, but seriously, like Julie, we can put the picture up on the screen if we have it. When I talk about no space between Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, I literally mean no space. They're standing next to each other. There were releases that went out and said they're part of the same legal team. There they are. There they are. And now Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, who's the other person in there, put out a release saying, oh, no, she's not part of our legal team. You know what this looks like? It looks like a legal team. It looks like a legal team right here.
Sweaty legal team.
Well, yes, but she's not the one who's having the issues, the glandular issues, right? Anyway, I mean, Charlie, honestly, at this point, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, they want to be president.
Yeah.
I mean, what Donald Trump is doing doesn't help them. It really doesn't help them. If he's collecting money so that he can stay in the political game and be a kingmaker and or run again in 2024, they've got to figure out a way to position themselves in opposition to this, don't they?
Right.
I think they do, and I don't see that there's any advantage for them to deny reality. I mean, why is stating the obvious so difficult? When they state it, it'll be a revelation, apparently. But
Yeah, right. So right now, it's been so interesting. Donald Trump's campaign team finally cuts the ties with the conspiracy theorist Sidney Powell. But when John Berman said there was no space between Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, there was no space between Sidney Powell and President Donald Trump. Not just physically, they even actually placing each other right next to one another, but there is no differentiation in line of thinking maintained and upheld by them. The Sidney Powell, who actually, hatched acts of conspiracies, whose ludicrous absurdity would be so matchless. But so far, up until this moment, the team Trump wanted to be associated with her in pursuit of legal battles. This just reflects the ridiculous nature of the whole trial challenge by President Donald Trump. Think about it. And right now, what John Berman said is clear. Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz, they had all presidential ambition. They just really want to be president if there is any possibility, right? Don't they actually know that it's time for them to actually stand up and do what's right instead of actually remaining silent, or being a distant observer, because of what Donald Trump is doing would eventually hurt their reputation, and there is nothing for them to gain from this scenario. President Donald Trump is really collecting monies. He just really wants to, build up on a case on behalf of his ego. Maybe this would actually give another chance to have president in their party, and those, side kicks like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio were likely to be kingmakers who are actually, aligning themselves with the President Donald Trump instead of having an opportunity to build up their case. But now, if they ever want to think about what's good for the nation, right next to what's best for their own egocentric agenda, it's time for them to actually stand up and say, hello, this is not right. What President is doing is really corrupted and delusional. It's time for us to gain sanity. There should be a clear put out like this. The Republican parties are right now asking people to put out more money, as if this is an ideological battle against the liberals who really wants to bring about the socialists to take over. No, this is really a challenge to our democratic rules by tackling the legitimacy of our election results. And this is completely unfounded. And if that is really the case, of those who are right-minded or reasonable or even, promising GOP candidates for the next presidential election should come out and take action, whether that would be for their own self-serving reasons, or whether that would be for this nation they actually really feign to love or truly love. I don't know. But it's time for them to at least, make right decision. It's not right now or never. Think about it. Then they could have forever been known as Donald Trump's accomplices.
Wishlist sales event. Sign and drive off in a new Lincoln with 0 down, 0 due at signing and a complimentary first month's payment.
This year, CNN Heroes isn't just saluting everyday heroes.